Hey, good morning. My name is Lerato Lebogo. Sorry, good afternoon. My name is Lerato Lebogo, and I'm going to do today's training. Apologies for the delay. We just had a bit of a technical glitch. So I'm just going to begin with today's training on payroll processing and employee self-service. All right. So to begin, you must have set up an account, and this is our dashboard. On our dashboard, you basically see your payroll cycle, which is your monthly, weekly, fortnightly, or whichever cycle you set up for your company. The left-hand side is our menu where you have all your employees, payroll processing, and reports links. All right, so we're just going to do a basic setup of payroll processing and go through employee self-service. All right, so to then begin with creating a payroll cycle, you go to company and then you go to payroll setup. So on payroll setup, this is where you tell the company when you are, the system when you are going to begin processing in your company, that you've already created an account for, entered all the company information, company representative, bank details, and so forth, right? Then on your payroll setup, it will just prompt you for a text here. So you can process for previous years, as you see here. So we've got 2018 right till 2022, and the tax year, which is this tax year, as 2023. All right, and then you click here on add. Then you can give your cycle a name. You can say any name. Then you're going to just tell the system what cycle you're running, monthly, weekly, or fortnightly. Then you're going to select your first cycle end date. So that's the first processing period that you're going to begin processing for. And then you just click add. Okay, so as you click add, you'll see all your cycles will be listed here. You'll be able to see the cycle name, cycle type, and when the cycle ends. And then if the cycle is new, you'll still be able to edit. You'll be able to delete it. And then every time we have a new tax year, you click here on update tax year to go into the new financial year. All right, so this is how you just begin setting up your payroll cycle for your employees. So once you've done this, you have to assign the cycle to your employees as you do the payroll processing. And to do that, you go to your employee list. So with your employee list, you'll see all your employees here. So to get this, you must have either added your employees individually by clicking on add employee, or you could have imported your employees either way. So one of the two options, right? So as you double click on the employee's name that you've created, you'll be able to see all the information, of course, and then for the main reasons of payroll processing, you'll go to work information, and then you'll add there the start dates, the cycle type. So the cycle type is what you have created as a payroll cycle. So you'll then, as you have created it, you'll find it listed here. If it's not listed, it would mean that you haven't created it. So all you'll have to do is just create a cycle, select the cycle, and then enter a monthly salary. If your cycle is weekly, it will say weekly salary or fortnightly salary. So you'll enter the monthly salary there, and then it will automatically calculate the annual salary, the rate per day, or rate per hour. If you enter rate per hour and the rate per day, it will automatically calculate a monthly salary for you. And basically, you can do anything here for you to get an accurate amount for your salaries. Okay, and then you can then enter there when the employee starts on, works on a Monday right through to a Friday, or if he works on the Saturday, you'll see that the rate per hour and rate per day adjust, as well as the hours per week and the hours per month. Right, so you'll be able to just have control over that to ensure that you have correct rates per hour and rates per day, and as a whole, a monthly salary, the correct monthly salary. All right, so once you've entered all that, you can click update. If you would like, you'll go here and add your departments. You can add your designations for the employees, and then you'll be able to just see those on the payslip itself. All right, so just for mainly payroll processing, you should also have the employee's banking details right under payment information. You can select if the employee gets paid by check, cash, or electronic transfer. If you select electronic transfer, you have to enter the employee's bank details right there. as well as if you go to leave information, this is where you enter the leave balances for all the employees. Annual leave, family responsibility leave, and sick leave being the main leaves that you should have as balances. Then you'll see that we just cater for some of them, which is your maternity leave, your paternity, your study leave. You can add that, and whatever balance then is suitable for your company, right? So as you select any leave here, it will ask you for a take-on balance, days accrued, days taken, days due, and a leave entitlement. So the only thing you'll have to do here is just enter the employees' balances, particularly if you're just moving across from a different system. Okay, so if it's a first time set up, you can also just enter the balances there, or if the employee is new, you can also enter the balances there. Right, and then on tax information, this is where you're going to enter the employee's tax number, how the employee should be taxed by normal tax, by director, and so forth. If they shouldn't be paying tax, you'll select the reasons there. If they have medical aids, if they have private medical aids and retirement annuities, you enter them here under tax information. The system also does qualify, does have your ETI. So if you do qualify for ETI as a company, you'll select your ETI details as you set up the company, and also set up the employee that the employee qualifies for ETI. So once you've put a tick here, the system automatically will look at the various validations from SARS to see if the employee actually does qualify for SARS, calculate the ETI amount for you on a weekly or on a monthly basis. So you won't have to worry with anything. You just put a tick there and the system will do the work for you in terms of calculations, of which you'll see the results on your EMP 201 as well as your EMP 501. All right, if you are coming from another system, we have where you have your take on balances. So on your take on balances, this is where you can enter what the employee has received from the beginning of the financial year to date. So anything that is that the employee received, basic salary, anything other than everything with your incomes, your deductions, including your tax, your UIF, as well as your STL, you enter how much the employee got just as a balance, so not for each month, just as a balance. And then you just enter the information here so that from whichever period you are calculating or you are going to be doing your payroll processing from, you just take it from there and the system will then calculate the correct tax for you. Okay, and then you do have your loans or savings. So if you do have loans or you do give out loans, then you just put a setup of the standard loan, the issue date, the loan amount, and the current repayment there. And then you just save the information there. Right. So yeah, you can also have your employee documents just to drop files and upload. All right. Then as we move on, your employee self-service setup, we set it here on the employee's master file. For the employees to have ESS, they should have an email address. If an employee does not have an email address, they will not be able to access our ESS because it is mainly purely based on the fact that they should have an email address for them to be logged in, or for them to log in, and then they can access their pay slips, they can apply for leave, and they can manage their leave, right? And then you can have a setup right here. So usually if it is a new employee, it will just prompt for a credential. So what you'll see there is then it will say employee email address. If there is an email address here, then that email address will automatically populate as a new employee here. But if there's no email address, you can enter any other email address, give the employee a password, and then give those details to the employee. And the employee, as he logs into ESS, they are able to go in and change. Okay, so as you set up ESS, these are the user rights. So access role is always on employee because they are employees. And then you give the rights for the employees to apply for leave, to view payslips, as well as managing their leave. Then if this particular employee is a manager, so we do have first and second approvals. So you can select which employees report to this employee as a manager, so that when these employees do apply for leave or make changes on ESS, in particular with their personal details or their banking details, then the manager is able to get an email notification to say there is a leave request, please go in and approve it. Okay, so on second approval as well, you can select who is the second approval. In case this employee as a manager is not available, then we do have second approval cases where a second approval can then log in and approve their leave or manage their leave, as well as see what or who has changed any details on ESS. Okay. So on payroll processing, as you do your payroll, this is where we do our payroll processing, payslip processing. We've got batch payslip processing where you do, and then this is where you do your pay period update, and then you can undo your period update. So when you click on payslip processing, okay, you're going to select the cycle that you have created. So as you select the cycle, you'll see there, maybe you've created the cycle. You'll find these options under employee status. So you've got unprocessed, processed, terminated, on leave. If your employee is unprocessed, it simply means the employee is not processed. If the employee is processed, you'll find the employee here. And that just simply means that you've done the payroll, you've clicked processed and saved the pay slip. And then you'll find the employee under processed and you'll see a recorded there. If your employee is not processed, you'll find them here. Or if you're in the new month or if you're in the new week, you'll find your employee under unprocessed. But once you've clicked process, you'll find your employee under processed, and that's if you're still in the very same period. And then if you've terminated employees, you'll find them here as well, where you can reinstate, and then you can click here for employees that are currently on leave for you to, if you do want to see who's on leave, or for you to actually do their pay slips. All right, so as you select the employee code, this is how our payslip processing screen looks. All right, so you'll see we've got an employee status right there, the rate per hour, the processing period, as well as the number of days worked. Then you can terminate an employee here by clicking on End Employment, select the termination date, you can pay out annual leave here, and then select the reason for termination and save. You can undo a payslip. So if you've clicked process and you realize you've made a mistake, you can either undo the payslip, or you can just go back here and select process and just open up the employee's payslip. Okay, then on the payslip, we've got your income, your deduction, your company contributions, fringe benefits, year-to-date leave, and leave history. So if you go to income, you'll find your basic salary there. This will already be there if you've put the monthly salary on the employee's master file, as I've shown you. If you have not entered the employee's basic salary, you will not be able to find your employee as an option under your employee code. This is just measures for you to make sure that you enter the correct basic salary for you to be able to enter or for you to begin the payslip processing smoothly. Then under deductions, we've got your main deductions, which is your tax, and you can also click there for you to see the tax calculation, as you see it here. And then you've got your UIF under company contributions as well. We've got the main standard deductions and company contributions already there, already calculated for you, right? Then under each tab, there is an option to add a company contribution or to add an income. This is where now you can add your commissions, add your overtimes, add any other transaction that you may want to add for your employees and with the amounts. So with any other income that you add or transaction that you add under company contributions or fringe benefits, you'll be able to then see how it affects the tax, or if you want to see the tax calculation itself, you see that how it is calculating inclusive of those transactions that you've just added. Then on the same payslip screen, we've got leave. This is where you can process leave manually by clicking on add leave, selecting the leave transaction, date from, day 2, the system will then calculate the due days. This is obviously based on the leave balances that you've entered on the employee's master file, the total days that that the employee has requested, and you can put a comment there should you need to. So anytime you want to process leave, you can select any of these leave types, select the date from date 2, and enter the total days and click process. Okay, so when you click process, just get rid of that leave. When you click process, as you click here, you'll see there now, this is the payslip preview, where it will show you the company name, the pay period, employee address, the employee start date, the pay type, leave balances, basically, and the company information. Then right at the bottom, you'll see there is a basic salary, which with the amount, the deductions, with the tax and UIF and any other deductions. Then it will show you the net pay and the company contributions and any fringe benefits if there are. Then once you're done, you click on Save Payslip, and that would mean that the employee has now been processed. The employee now is ready to get this as a net pay, and you can move on to the next month. So you do this for each and every employee that you are going to do the payroll for. So as you done with each employee, as you click Save Payslip, you go to the next employee and you process the payslip as I've shown you. So it will still go back to the screen, and then you just add any other transaction. So once you've processed and you've saved all the payslips and you're ready now to give up all the payslips, you go to pay period update. That's basically also just telling the system that you're done and you're ready to go to a new month. So when you've processed and saved the payslip, it's not final, it's not locked. You can always go back and change anything should you need to. But when you go to pay period update, basically you'll be able to see all the employees listed here with the employee codes, the employee name, any email address, processed. So here, if you do not see a tick, it will mean that the employee is not processed and you will not be able to do a period update until you decide what you want to do with the employee, whether you need to terminate or you actually need to process the payslip. So if the payslip is not processed, you will not be able to see a tick there. Then you can preview the payslip as you see it here. So when you click here, you'll be able to see the employee's payslip with all the amounts and the deductions and the leave balances as I've shown you. Then you're able to email the payslips to the employee. So if you click email all and you click send email, you can either send it to yourself as the company representative. This is set up when you create the company itself. Once you send yourself the payslips, you'll get all the payslips to yourself in bulk for all the employees, and you can either then individually email the payslips to the employee, and remember to just have an email address set up for them on the master files. And you can also print all the payslips by clicking there on print and then click print payslip, and then you can either download them as PDF for yourself or actually print the payslips and for you to keep, right? So once you've done an email that will printed all the payslips, then you can have the option to click on period update for you to move on to the next week or to the next month. Okay, so once you've done that, then you can go over to our reporting. So on our reporting, we've got your statutory reports, we've got your payroll reports, we've got leave reports, and you'll see on our statutory report, we've got your UIF export for every month that you can send over to the Labor Department. Then we've got your EMP 201, which you can view. And as you view it, it has the, let me just select, see if I can just show you. Then it has the details there for you to see the, okay, let me just process a new share. There we are. So you'll be able to see the employee code, the employee name, the tax, the SDL, UIF amounts for all the employees as you see them there. If there's any ETI calculated, it will automatically view the amounts there, right? And then as you see right at the bottom, it will give you totals and the total payable over to SARS. Then we've got the OID report. So at the end of the financial year, you do have access to our OID report. Then we've got your IRP5, IRT3A electronic certificates, of which you can create a file for you to import into EasyFile and do the submission for the employees. Right, so you just put in your details there, select the tax year, check the validation report, then click generate for you to have availability for that file itself. Okay, then we have your EMP 501 that you can use for you to do your submission. Then on our payroll reports, we have your bank export, your payroll summary, the main ones being your monthly recon that you use on a monthly basis. Then we've got the net pay report. So on our net pay report, you're going to select the year, and it will basically just show you all the employees with their net salaries. So to show you how it looks. It looks like this, where it has an employee code, employee name, pay method, bank name, account number, and the branch code with the net pay amount as you see it there. Okay, so you'll see with all your employees listed, it will give you the total net pay for all the employees. And right at the bottom, it will show you for each payment type what the total is and eventually total all of it. Okay, then as you go over to your bank export, so Palladium does have your bank export where you can pay your employees directly through Palladium Payroll. So you'll just select the bank right there, select which bank you use, then select the cycle that you want to pay. It will automatically have the current period. Then you can select which employees you want to pay, but it will automatically have all the employees there. And then when you click generate, it will sort of just have validation for you to, again, just view all the employees for you to see their net pay amounts. So this, again, just looks exactly like a net pay report, but for you to only check the details before pay. Then you can download this or you can confirm. So once you click confirm, it creates a little file that you can then import into your internet banking, and then from there automatically do the payment from your internet banking. Okay, then we've just got your UIF report, your transaction report, and you've got all your pay slips that you can view. So on our leave reports as well, we've got a leave processing report, so you can actually see for the month what was processed for leave for particular employees. Then we've got employee leave transactions, so you can view by leave transactions, so by annual leave, by sick leave, by family responsibility leave, to just see what was processed, what's the balance, when they took leave, and so forth. Okay, so yeah, that's just it on payroll processing. So again, to have an overview for you to start, basically begin with your payroll setup, you have to go to company settings, company, create a payroll cycle, as you see it here under payroll setup. Then after that, you have your employees where you have to assign all the cycle to the employees, and then enter the monthly salaries, enter the start dates, as well as enter the leave balances. Then you do your payroll processing, then you do your pay period update, and then you view your reports. Okay. So as I move over, I'm going to go to your ESS just to show you how it looks. So on our ESS, once you've set up the ESS for your employees, you'll see there is an option now. So if you're the super admin, it will show you this. Then if you're the employee for ESS, they'll be able to log in as the employee. So on our ESS, this is how it looks. This is our dashboard with the calendar, and on the left-hand side, you will see that you've got the leave application. You can view payslips, personal details, leave report, and your leave balance. So when you click here on apply for leave, remember you would have set the credentials for your employees for them to be able to log in. They'll still be logging in on the very same screen, or the link, actually, they'll still be logging on here. So there's no other a place or link that they'll have to log on in. You just supply the very same link and you just give them the credentials, and as they log in, they will be logging into the ESS. So once they click here, they'll be able to then change their email and change their password, and then select if they want to receive email notifications for every time they log in. Okay, so as you go to apply leave, this is where the employees will be applying for leave. Okay. To view their leave balances, this is why it's important to just have them accurately. So as they click annual leave, check balance, they were able to see their balances there and their due days, right, for each and every type of leave, as you see there. Then they can project their leave. So for your December leave, they can actually just check that by a certain date or by a certain time, maybe at the end of the financial year, how many leave days will I have? They will be able to check and have their projected leave. Then they'll be able to click here on add. And this is now where they'll be applying for leave. Okay. So as you apply for leave, you see there. Let's fix my screen. Okay, so this is where now they'll be applying for leave. So for any type of leave, maybe it's annual leave, they'll then select from which day to which day, as a full day or as a half day or second half day. Then they can select a reason and then save. So once this has been saved, one that has been set up as the manager will receive an email notification for them to approve the leave. Right, then they'll be again able to view their payslips on the screen. So every time you do a period update, the payslip for the previous month will then be available for them to either generate and to email to themselves. So this will only be for them and no one else. Then they were able to view their personal details that has been set up by the admin. Looking exactly like what we've seen on the employee master file, you'll see personal information, payment information, their tax information, and their employee document here. And then they'll be able to view their leave reports as you see them there. So they'll be able to view from this date to this date they want to see for any leave type, what the balances are, what was processed by the admin, and then be able to just email or send themselves that report. Then on this last option, they'll be able to again view their leave balances just as they have been set up on the employee's master file. So it's quite important to just have these correct, because they'll be able to view them and actually plan their leave accordingly. Okay, so anytime there's a change or maybe there's a leave application, they view their pay slips, the manager will be able to sort of see and track what is going on in ESS in terms of if there's any changes, any leave requests, then the manager will be able to log in and actually approve or decline the leave. Every time a leave application has been approved, the leave goes directly to the employee's master file for the admin to then just process the leave. You will not be able to process that particular employee's payslip without either seeing the leave or approving the leave, right? So if the leave has not been approved, it will not appear. If the leave has been declined, again, it will not appear. So it will always just alert you that there's something that hasn't been processed, which is your leave, before you can actually just finalize the payslips. Okay, so to go back on the main screen, right, so on the main screen, once you've done on all your payslips and you've processed your payslips and so forth, you'll be able to exactly see. Let's just close that. Sorry about that. So you'll be able to see all the processed, unprocessed employees as you see them there. So you'll see all your active employees as you see them there, your processed employees. So every time you process a payslip, you'll be able to see it there. Then you'll see all the unprocessed employees in case you cannot process a pay period update, you'll be able to see them there. And then you'll be able to see your employees that are on leave. You'll see them there. And then you'll be able to see your terminated employees right there. And then, yeah, this is your calendar. And every time you've processed your employee, then this gets filtered. So you'll be able to see your total company contributions, also as a percentage, your total fringe benefits, your total deductions, and your total net pay. So if the employee remains unprocessed, they will be not included in these totals, which will then give you a total cost for that period. Okay. I don't know if there's any questions. Okay, so if there are no questions, nothing else to say, but thank you for joining me for today's training. I hope it was informative. If there's any questions, please let me know. My email address is lerato, Lerato, .lebogo, Lebogo, @palladium.co.za. Please feel free to contact me anytime should you have any questions for our payroll. But again, thank you for joining me and have a wonderful day further.